In this video, I'm going to show you how to attach strands to your crochet to make a nice little tassel. There are different ways of doing tassels. This is quite a straightforward way that doesn't involve any sewing. It creates a nice little kind of fringed tassel for along the bottom of a project. Now this particular project is my Gemma tank, so some of the instructions will be specific. So I have already pre-cut my strands for me to show you. So for this particular design, I need 5 lengths of 16 centimetres for each tassel. So they're already cut, just because you don't really want to see me sitting and cutting in a video. It's not the most exciting thing. And I'm going to be attaching it to the bottom here. So I've done some chains, and I'm going to be attaching a tassel to the middle of each of these chains to create the fringing effect on the bottom that I've just shown you. These are just my ends that I've not weaved in yet, because I don't do that until the very end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strand of 5 and fold it in half. Okay, so fold it in half, ready to go. And I've got my crochet hook here. So with my crochet hook, I want to find the chain that I'm going to go into, which, like I say, is the middle one. And for me, I've done 11 chains, so I want the 6th one. So I'm going to put my hook in, and then I'm going to go through the middle where I've folded my strands in half. Okay, and I'm going to pull that through the chain. Now it might be a stitch depending on what you're doing it, but like I say, for this particular design, it's a chain. So pull it through. And then I need to create enough of a loop, because I'm going to hook all of these strands and pull them through the middle and then pull it tight. Now this is a little bit faffy, it's probably my best word for it, and you might want to experiment with different hook sizes rather than just doing the same one that you did your project on. But yes, because obviously, as you can see, when I wrap it round, it's quite thick. So I need to take it through the loop I created by pulling through, and then pull everything through, and just make sure you get all of the strands through. And then all you do is pull it tight. It kind of self-knots into place. Now, you can see that there's a little bit of curling going on, so I'll probably have to borrow my mum's iron again, like I did for the pink one. But also, don't panic that at this point, your ends aren't quite perfect. So what I did with the pink one is, when I'd done all of my tassels, I ironed them, partly because I'd reused some yarn, and some of them were really curly. So I just ironed them all flat, and then I laid it all flat and just give it a bit of a haircut along the bottom so that everything finishes at the same length. Okay, so for now, it doesn't matter that those aren't quite even, because I will tidy it up when I'm doing my final touches. Okay, so same thing again. I've got another 5 strands, and I fold it in half. Okay, and then I'm going to find in the next chain 11, sorry, I'm really struggling to get my fingers in there, where I want to put it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, hook through the middle where you fold it in half, and pull it through your chain or stitch that you're going to be attaching it to. Give yourself a bit of room, and then wrap the whole lot through, and you want to go and pull the strands through there, and then just pull tight. And I've now got 2 tassels. Now obviously you don't have to do 5 strands, you could do more depending on if you wanted a fuller look. This is just what's required for this particular pattern that I'm doing, and how spaced out they are as well might determine how full you want your fringe to be. You know, if you're having a lot of them, then you might not need them to be quite as full. If you're going to be quite sparse with them, then you might want a much thicker tassel than I'm doing for this particular one. Also, for example, if you're doing a nice thick chunky scarf, you're not going to want bare tassels at the end. You're going to want something nice and thick to keep that vibe. So just pulling it through, and then, like I say, you've got to get all of these through the middle, so just wrap them around your hook. And then I find it easier actually to lift this first bit over rather than to try to pull through, just because I end up losing strands. Pull all the strands through the middle and pull tight. Okay, so I've done 3. I've got a lot more to go on this particular one, but let me show you again what it's going to finish up like. So this is the one I've already done. So like I say, when I finished it, I ironed them all nice and straight, got everything lined up, and I just gave it a nice little trim, so you can see that I've got lovely flat ends on the bottom of all of these. And when I'm wearing it, that I now know that they're all going to be the exact same length. Okay, so that is how to attach a nice easy little tassel fringe to the bottom of your project.